Don't buy Dead Alliance. It's probably the worst zombie game I've ever seen in my life. Dead Alliance is the worst game I played in 2 years. And I only say 2 because that's as far as my memory is going when it comes to games. It's really bad. And the funny thing is that they are charging people $40 USD for something that looks and plays as well as a free-to-play game. So let's break this down. First, the presentation is poorly executed and lazy. Case in point, the main menu. It's full of rectangles over a screenshot of a part of an in-game map. It's boring to look at and it feels lazy. The background here shows anything interesting traps in the game, nor is it dynamic, so we're stuck looking at the same thing with no changes. And also the 4 rectangles block most of the background anyway, so there's anything interesting we wouldn't see. Dead Island should have made rectangular boxes with print inside on the left or right side of the screen like most other games do, so you fill up the rest of the screen with something interesting. And then it would also leave space for the pre-order icon or whatever you choose to fill it up. Instead, the pre-order stuff is presented in the most abrupt way possible. At the end of the first match you play, and after a few matches if you're playing that long, and I'll be surprised you are, a pre-order screen will appear allowing you to pre-order the full game or the multiplayer only. Why the first match? Someone just picked up the beta, they probably don't have enough time to decide to buy the game. Do you think you were going to instantly wow them in the first match? And why can't you exit the pre-order screen and look at the scoreboard or leave the match? Players have to wait until the next match starts, which is not aiding the game's case. And second, or really extension of the first point, information is conveyed poorly. The only tutorial you get doesn't explain much except for how grenades work, while the rest is conveyed in text during loading screens in the corners. Everything else, the game just expects you to know. For example, how do I use my grenades or zombie equipment? Even though the entire tutorial is about it, they never explain how to use it, or the fact that most equipment is accessible via changing weapons, but I didn't know that until after I hit the triangle button multiple times on accident. And I looked at the input sections on the option menu. The game could also just explain what the hell the different zombie types are that you witness in the game. Which, speaking of which, the game doesn't gives a noticeable fake illusion of variety. Despite having visually different zombies, all of them behave exactly the same. They run at you and attack you, and that's all they do. What's the point of having different Zeds if they behave exactly the same? Imagine playing Left 4 Dead and Smoker, which is a long-range, sniper-like zombie, ran at you like a normal zombie. It'd be dumb and defeats its purpose. And the same can be said about classes. There are 3 different classes differing speed, defense, and health, but the 2 extremes, which are the heavy and light, are overall useless for being too slow and too fragile respectively. And nor are the game modes that different or exciting. The 3 game modes basically boil down to variation of domination, or if you're not familiar with that, you capture a point and hold on to it for a certain amount of time. Attrition, their start game mode, feels pretty bad, and it's supposed to be inspired by MOBAs. There are 3 lanes, and 2 of them, which are usually on the left and right side, your zombie minions go down, while you have a center lane, which is where the jungle is essentially. And you have to capture the enemy towers, which are on the 2 lanes, in order to get to their base and capture it. And it seems like your zombie minions are supposed to help. I'm not so sure since they didn't take the time to explain their defining game mode in the tutorial. Anyway, the zombies are useless, and they don't spawn very often, and when they do reach a tower, they leave the tower they're supposed to help you capture and instead go fight the enemies. They also don't spawn often enough for how easily they are killed. So in the end, you have to convert random zombies to help you capture points, which at that point, why even bother having minion zombies? And on top of that, the towers are useless. In MOBAs, the point of a tower is to impede you and your minions' progress at the enemy's base. Yeah, in this game, the tower does absolutely nothing. They have no defense mechanism to stop you, and so with defenseless capture points and useless minions, you might as well be playing King of the Hill or Domination, because the things that should separate attrition from the other game modes fall flat. So here's an idea for attrition. You keep the game mode, because I actually like it. It's a good idea. But decrease the spawn time of the zombie minions and give the towers a pheromone AoE that attracts zombies to attack anybody attacking a point, usually minions first. It would give purpose to both the towers and the zombie minions. Now lastly, the game feels awful. Moving feels extremely rigid, while aiming feels too loose. And at random moments, the gun will not fire, even though I feel pretty confident that it's not a mechanic. Along with that, zombies will still stand after being killed. And then there's the last point, which is the game is visually generic. The art style does not have any personality or elicit any feelings, and it's hard to distinguish humans from zombies. Which reminds me of something else. Why don't humans get killed by zombies turn to zombies? Anyway, thanks Dead Alliance for wasting a decent idea in my time, and thank you to viewers for watching. Does this game look bad to you, or am I being too harsh? Let me know.
Like it's nothing, 'cause it's nothing, bitch.